Good evening and welcome to our first Sweet Life cooking demonstration for 2021. My name is Megan Gonzalez. I'm a registered dietitian and certified diabetes care and education specialist at the Mary and Dick Allen Diabetes Center at Hoag. I'm here today with Hoag's executive chef, Davis Cruz. Our theme for tonight is food made with love. So our recipes can be found down below. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat box and we can answer them either throughout the presentation and we have time at the end as well. February is American Heart Month. People living with diabetes and prediabetes are at increased risk for having a heart attack or stroke. So today we will be sharing some heart healthy recipes. And I'd like to start off our class today with a question. This is something that you can think about as you go through, and we will have you answer at the end, and we will give the answer at the end. So the question is, what do salmon, avocados, and walnuts all have in common? Okay, so again, what do salmon, avocados, and walnuts all have in common? So I'm going to turn it over to Chef Cruz to get started with our first recipe.
Thank you, Megan. Well, wow, it's been quite a year, and we're back, and we're going to make sure that our recipes this year gives you all the nutritional information that you might need to move forward. Before I continue, my name is Davis Cruz. I'm the executive chef at Hoag Hospital here in Newport, and I also support Irvine. I've been diabetic type 1 for 25 years. I do wear an insulin pump, and so this is very to my heart. I love to eat healthy. I love to cook and present healthy food. And with this recipe, you will see why so many people can't actually make the recipe that is in front of them tastefully and presentable. So with no further ado, shall we start cooking?
Yes, let's get cooking.
So the first thing, very important, is to have the right temperature in your pan. So it says medium-high heat. What does that mean? How do I know it's medium-high heat? Is it because the knob on your stove says so? Well, no. The best way to do it is take a droplet of water, and it should stay. If you can see how it just dances around without evaporating for a little bit. So that is medium-high heat that will allow the cooking process for your salmon to be perfect, okay? So while that's evaporating, let's talk about the salmon.
Okay, because we are doing our first recipe, Alaska salmon with orange and watercress.
Correct. So on the Alaska salmon, we have let me put my gloves on. So the difference between wild caught and domestic farm raised. Okay, so farm raised fish these days has a different composition and actually some difference in the nutrients of what they actually have. So before you choose between wild caught and domestic, just read the nutritionals that are on the package or Google it, and you will know what type of nutrients they have for your body to accept it. Nothing is wrong with either or, correct? Right. They're both perfectly fine. It's just a matter of, you see the pigmentation on the salmon. This is a sockeye salmon, and this is a king salmon. And you see that this is farm-raised king salmon, and you see the way the membranes and the fat content is on the salmon versus the very little fat content on the wild, correct? It's like us. We exercise, our BMI is very low, correct?
Yes.
You don't exercise, then you have the BMI kind of good. But some people, depending on their illness or their nutritional needs, need that extra fat, correct?
Right, that is
so
correct.
you have a 93-year-old lady that needs a lot of fat. Well, take the farm raised. Why get the wild caught, correct? So if you need a lot of fat in you.
And it is a good heart-healthy fat. It's very low in saturated fat, which is the bad fat, and it's high in omega-3 fatty acids, which again are very heart-healthy.
Okay. Now for this application, we are going to remove the skin. So I'm going to show you how to properly remove the skin. Hopefully I can do it in one slot. I have a space constraint, but we will do our best. Okay. So first of all, you set it flat, and then if it doesn't have an incision, this one has kind of already, but let's help them out a little bit. So it has a little incision, and you should be able to find that joint where it joins the skin, it joins the meat. It has like a little fat layer that is very thin. So you want to capture that. So what you want to do is hold on to the skin, and then try to bring the skin towards you without moving the knife. You see, the knife is not moving. The only thing that is moving is the skin that I'm bringing out. So there you go. Okay. And no skin on the salmon.
Very nice.
So if you try to cut it with a knife, you are going to cut into the meat, and then you won't be able to remove the skin. That's why you see it's better to peel and have a sharp knife, and that will do a trick. So with that said, if you read the recipe, these are 5 ounces. The recipe size called for half of the portion size that it says, which is 4 will be 2 ounces, or 6 will be 3 ounces. Right. This is a 3-ounce portion, so kind of same size. So I'm just going to cut it just for kicks, correct? So make sure that.
So the serving size for this recipe is half of the 4 to 6 ounce fillet. So
I'm going to leave this here with the skin. Okay. Now we are going to add some coconut oil to the fish, not to the pan. I don't want to waste my coconut oil into the pan, because the circumference of the pan is quite big. So I'm just going to dress it.
Avocado oil, yes,
Avocado
Chef?
oil, I'm sorry, avocado oil. So this is all I'm going to do.
So again, avocado oil, very heart healthy, high in good fat called monounsaturated fat, and it works well for cooking with the medium-high heat, right, Chef?
Correct.
Yes.
You saw a little bubble. Now the other question is, which side goes first, correct? So skin side up. Skin side up. Do we season on this point or not? Actually not. You want to sear the meat. You want to concentrate their flavors, their natural flavors. The salt and pepper will come at the end. Once I turn it, I just salt and pepper just a little bit to enhance the natural flavors, and that's about it. Okay. So once you buy the avocado oil, make sure that it's best, once you open it, keep it in the refrigerator. It's a good a rule of thumb. It lasts you a lot longer. And, or if you don't cook as much, just buy lesser quantity. Okay, so it's medium-high heat. While we wait, let's talk about the watercress. Correct?
Yes, watercress.
So the watercress is an ancient herb. Lettuce is more like cabbage family, and it was used back in the ancient days with Persian and in the Middle East. It's very peppery taste. It's more like the arugula these days, and the arugula kind of take over the watercress. But the watercress has so much nutrients into it that is unbelievably beautiful. And you see, it comes live. You can buy it live, and you can actually plant it, keep it very moist, and then it will reproduce quite rapidly. So you buy once and have it for a long time. Okay, so let's see if they're not sticking to the pan. Just a little, that's all right. There you go.
And the watercress is very low in calories. It is high in vitamin K. So for those of you that have to watch your vitamin K intake, just be careful. Low carbs, very low carbs.
So I'm going to rough chop it. So the ends, meaning that's the end that I cut before I came in, I cut it, and I have a little bit of the stem with the root. I'm just gonna clean that up and take it away. As you all know, what have I always say? Where's the flavor? The flavor is on the stem. The leaves is just a beautiful thing that accompanies the taste. So the taste is actually on the roots. So I'm gonna take about half a cup. I'm gonna keep them there. And this amount, it was from 2 more bags that I had. So they're plentiful, and it just watercress is a peppery taste, and you have to neutralize the taste so you can eat it and enjoy it while you're eating it. Correct? So, for example, on the recipe calls for white vinegar.
Right.
Okay, and it says add the white vinegars once you add the cucumbers and the oranges to the mixed greens. So we're not going to add the mixed greens yet. I'm just going to neutralize the flavor of your watercress with the white vinegar. Then I'm going to add the cucumbers, and then we're going to talk about the oranges. We're going to add the oranges. And lastly, the lettuce leaf or the... so I brought in mixed greens. I brought in some romaines that you can mix and match. The reason for the white vinegar in this recipe, just make sure you take a note of it, is to neutralize the flavor and enhance the natural... to bring... For example, when you have some leaves, like spinach, some people like to cook them, correct? You can make them raw, you can cook them. Watercress doesn't apply as much for you to cook them. But if you have the acidity of the white vinegar, it actually acts like cooking it, but without heat. And that will bring out the extremely delicious flavor, okay? So I'm just gonna bring them here, see if you can see.
Tossing it, yes.
As it is, smells delicious. Okay. So now, on the recipe, talks about the cucumber.
Yes.
Why we have to chop them? It says chop. We're going to dice them up. So we're going to peel it, seed it, dice them up. If you have Persian cucumbers that have very thin skin, you don't have to peel them. You can add them as is. Your preference. As I'm doing this, I'm watching the salmon, correct? Mm-hmm. So it's getting completely solid, pale. I can tell it's still medium rare.
Right.
Many restaurants, when you go and order salmon, they will give it to you medium rare. And you say, well, my salmon is raw. Well, that's the correct way when you're serving a fresh salmon. Here in the healthcare scenario, can't do that. Sorry guys, can't do that. Cannot do that. Okay, so I'm going to cut them in half.
And once again, cucumber, low carbs, low calories. I think it adds good crunch and freshness to the salad.
Mm-hmm.
And again, not a lot of nutrition, but there's definitely some in there.
And also when you dice it, so as I'm dicing it and mixing it with the watercress, it helps tone down the bitterness of the watercress. So, and that is the main reason of having the cucumber on the salad.
So it's kind of like a neutralizer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Correct. So I'm bringing out the flavor, but I don't want it that strong, correct?
Right.
So
right.
okay, before I go to my knuckles, safety first, correct?
Yes.
So most of you that have been in the class know that safety is first. And if I cut myself in this class, I don't know what will happen. My goodness. All right. So here we go.
Of course, you don't have to cut it as fast as he does, but.
Okay. Make sure you practice and do it
Yes.
quickly, because the salmon might burn. Just kidding, just kidding.
So it's
Okay.
actually recommended to eat 8 ounces of salmon per week. Actually, not specifically salmon, fish that are high in omega-3s, just for good heart health. We don't want to eat salmon every day. It does contain some mercury, so we don't want to go in excess as well.
Just gonna leave him alone. It's working out pretty good. Okay, so what's next? So we have,
The oranges.
next is the oranges. So with the oranges, I said, well, what can we tell everybody at home about the oranges? There is different variety of oranges, like there is 5 different varieties of salmon. It is up to you. Do you research whether you want a farm raised or you want a wild caught? It's up to you. But they are, in this day and age, with all the regulations that is in the industry, you cannot have farm raised with too much antibiotics, okay, or any, if that is. So look for the sources like Alaskan farm-raised salmon or wild-caught salmon is very reputable, and they know what they're doing. So it's, they maintain their sites very clean, and they have a vast area where the salmon can roam free and grow. So going back to oranges, so the oranges, we have different types of oranges. Now in season is the Cara oranges, which is a little bit sweeter. We also have the California oranges that look more like a grapefruit. And then we have the the orange juice Florida oranges. It's your preference what you have in the house, knowing that you're going to apply it to the salad. Since we're doing the salad now, I love the fact that Cara oranges are very sweet, and it will complement this dish tremendously. So, how do you know your oranges? Well, let's do this. So this one will be your Florida orange, and this one will be your Cara orange. See how that look, okay? So we're gonna add, this is 1 orange.
Right. So this would be
Let's
our
bring it
source of
here.
carbohydrates for our meal. It's very low in carbohydrates though, but that is basically our main source, which is oranges, but again, very low total.
So the salmon is almost done. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of black pepper and a pinch of salt. That's about it. I don't want that salt to penetrate. I just want the surface. So when you eat in it, you just taste it just a little bit. Normally when we season and it's raw, we put too much into the surface of the item that you're cooking, either the salmon, beef. So you just want to drizzle a little bit, okay? So now I have my Cara oranges, cucumbers, and watercress. So the watercress already have a few minutes with the white vinegar in it, correct?
Yes.
So now, what am I? I'm going to add the greens. So let's do some of the mixed greens here.
Mixed greens. Lots
Because
of good
the-
nutrition, lots of
Okay.
nutrients. This is good.
I'm just going to toss it. I haven't added anything else. Okay, so now we are going to take how much is too much? It's never enough, correct?
Probably not. Again, the only thing if you're watching your carbohydrate intake is just to watch how many oranges go on your plate. But in terms of the other vegetables, the cucumber, you can have pretty much unlimited.
Unlimited, correct? So this is how the salad basically look. It only has been dressed with white vinegar,
Right.
correct? It looks moist, delicious. The cucumber will neutralize all the flavors. And now we're going to just place this. Actually, I'm going to leave the salmon and see. Oh, that they're done. They're done.
Yeah.
So wild caught or farm raised, which one goes on the plate? So let's do the wild caught to follow the recipe 100%. Okay?
That sounds good.
So here we go.
It's got a little more color to it.
Okay, and this one, we will just put it over here, right here. As an example, raw, farm raised, wild caught. All right, so now we have, this is salt, I already used, I don't need it. So the only thing I need is apple cider vinegar. The last word called pimentón. Anybody knows what that is? Pimentón? Anybody in the audience here? Well, it's no audience. Sorry, guys. I'm talking to you. Small paprika. No big deal. Small paprika. Okay? So we're going to take the walnuts, sprinkles on top.
So we have walnuts, which are also
Crunchiness.
crunchiness,
Right?
and of course are high in the good polyunsaturated fats as well as omega-3, and they can help decrease our risk for heart disease, inflammation, etc.
And how much is too much?
Okay, so an ounce of walnuts, which is about 7, contains 185 calories and 125 milligrams of potassium. So if you're watching calories, you want to watch your walnuts, and if you're watching potassium.
Okay.
But very low carbs. So, but again, if you're watching your weight or trying to lose weight, that's when you'd want to limit your amount.
So I just sprinkle enough where when we biting into the salad, it gives you a little crunch, correct? And that's what you're after. You don't want to overpower your salad composition with one ingredient that probably you love, but then that's the only one ingredient you're tasting. So you're not tasting the whole recipe together. And that's the goal here. So I just sprinkle.
Yes.
This, a quarter cup is for 8 servings in the recipe.
Correct, for the entire recipe, which is 8 servings.
I read the recipe finally. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do now, I want to sprinkle a little. This is about an ounce, but it was for about 4 servings. This 1 serving, so I'm just going to sprinkle, just on top. All right, just sprinkle. Don't be shy. Apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, there's been a little research. Apple cider vinegar can help to lower blood sugars. It's virtually very low calories, so there's not much to it.
And then the small paprika.
And can you buy that smoked paprika?
Absolutely.
Anywhere?
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
Spanish paprika. And if I pull an emerald, correct? Pow! Correct? There you go. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I didn't mean any
It's
offense
a little carried away.
to Emerald Lagasse. Sorry. Okay. And
we're missing a couple
let's finish.
things. Yes.
And let's beautify it. So now, here we have orchids and edible pansets. And these are all edible. So can you imagine having this? We should have done this class on Sunday, correct? For Valentine's?
Yeah. Well, we're only a couple days late.
Come on, guys. All right.
It is still February and still heart
Oh,
month.
the whole month? I heard in the
month.
audience, the whole month.
Very nice.
Okay.
And then we have one more item,
Yeah.
another heart
wait, the
healthy
avocado.
item that we forgot.
Wait. That goes here. Okay.
It's our superfood.
Now, how do you know avocado is ripe?
Oh, we've done this before.
We're done, correct? All right, let's see if this one is ripe. I picked 4 because, I don't know, correct? They feel like they're ripe, but are they? So, this one is green right there. So it should be nice, beautifully green. Let's see.
So again, avocados are high in the good heart healthy fat,
Ooh,
monounsaturated. Very good.
Correct.
That is good.
And then, I thought I was going to put the plate, yeah? Thank you.
That's why I'm here.
That's why Megan is here. And you know I like toys and
Yes.
gizmos and stuff like that, so here we go.
Cool. Wow.
Can you only have half avocado? Can I have the whole avocado?
Well, a whole
Why only half?
avocado is about 200 to 300 calories. So again, if you're watching your calories and your potassium, you would want to limit your avocado. But again, high in the good monounsaturated heart-healthy fats.
Come on, guys. Really?
Beautiful.
Look at that. Mm-hmm. Look at that.
Very nice.
Correct? So we have, well, in the culinary world, we will prop this up somehow, but the avocado might fall off, so never mind. So here we go. So only half avocado?
So for the, yes. And
Only
remember,
half
that's
avocado
for the
per meal.
No, chef. That's for the whole recipe of 8 servings.
Come on.
Again, for someone that's not as worried about calories, you could, or potassium, you could definitely do half for 1 serving. Mm-hmm. It's really up to your choice and what works best for you.
And believe it or not, edible flowers, most supermarkets don't have it, so try it. But they are not expensive. They're very inexpensive, and it's a good item that you can add to any of your foods. And I tell you, it goes a long way. Yeah, any day of the week that you're cooking, you bring some of the flowers to the dish. Say no more. Let me leave it like that.
And they don't have a whole lot of flavor, is that correct?
No, they're very neutral, and they adapt to. Make sure you put them on the salad, okay? So don't put on top of the salmon where it's hot because it will wilt, correct? Yeah. Especially these delicate pancits. They're very, very delicate. It works out pretty well. All right, cool.
All right, very good. Any questions that anyone wants to put in the chat box about this recipe, go ahead and do so now.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to do the answer to the question at the very end. So keep sending them in if you'd like to put your answer in for our question of the class here. Oh yes. So just in case you're joining us now, we have a question for our class today, which is the question is, what do salmon, avocados, and walnuts all have in common? So hopefully you're picking up on what I'm saying here as we go through, but we will give you the answer at the end, but you're welcome to send in or put your guesses in the chat box.
Okay.
And then we'll go ahead and move on to our raspberry avocado smoothie.
Now this smoothie, we picked it. We have avocado. It has avocado also, correct? Right. So you guys know that I picked it, correct? Because I love avocado, so never enough avocado. So if she doesn't allow me to eat it, I would drink it. So that's the goal, all right? And then I will suffer the consequences, yes. Right? So this drink in another dish that you might not have avocados, but right now the avocado in season, they're falling off the trees everywhere who has it, except in my home. I have a tree, nothing falls out of the avocado tree. Anyway, so it calls for entire avocado.
It does.
Right? Even though it's 2 servings.
It's 2 servings, so you can get your half of your avocado in this one.
Correct. So let's talk about, again, let's see, is this going to be ripe or overripe?
Let's see.
Let's see. Ooh, this one has some spotty.
So ideally you do this at the store, so then you don't buy the one that's
exactly.
Not
Why
good.
buy if you're going to throw it away when you're home? So if the produce guy say, hey, what are you doing? Well, I'm trying to buy the perfect avocado.
Yes.
Correct? They would never say anything. So this one seems to be spotty. Let's see. Let's see how right I am. Okay. Oh, see right there. Spotty, okay? Spotty. I didn't say fully dark, spotty. All right, let's try one more. I can use that for juicing anyway, but let's see one more. Ooh, this one is really spotty.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
let's see.
Very dark.
Yeah, correct?
Yes.
Ooh.
Wow, we were surprised.
Go figure, all right? Go figure, all right? Even when I'm wrong, I'm right.
Yeah.
Have I said that before?
No. And possibly for a smoothie like this, Chef, does it, like if you had a little bit of spotting, that wouldn't make a huge difference because you're going to be blending it up with the other ingredients?
Correct. So I'm going to add.
Whereas something like our salmon, we want it for presentation.
Absolutely.
Right.
I like
This is a very easy, but again, all these, our
You don't-
recipes today are heart healthy, so that's why we get avocado again
Yeah.
for the heart healthy part of it.
And you don't have to use this. I just have it, correct? I
Right.
just have it. You just dump it in. It's going to be blended anyway. Sorry, Megan.
That's okay. And again, I don't know if I mentioned, but avocado again has potassium in it. So a quarter of an avocado has 245 milligrams. So it's up there. It's pretty high potassium for those of us who are watching potassium intake.
It calls for a cup and a third
Yes,
of
of
water.
water.
It calls for how much raspberry?
Half a cup.
Half a cup.
So raspberries are very high fiber. This is going to be the main source of carbohydrates in this recipe, which again still is fairly low, because that's what we look for. And I suppose you use the frozen because it just adds more colder temperature, or why would
You can use it as ice.
Okay,
but
right.
Throughout my career, what I found out is frozen fruit enhances the flavor of the actual fruit. If you don't believe me, take a grape, red and white grape, put them in the freezer, use them as the ice cube, either to cool anything down or to blend it, or eat it. Just pop it and eat it as it is. You know, dissolve it, get it soft enough where you can chew on it, and the flavor is more intense when they're frozen. These days, the packaging companies and the way they freeze their produce and their fruit and vegetables are very right on the point.
and can actually retain more nutrients a lot of times if they're frozen when they're at a better state. So they
Correct.
can actually provide more nutrients.
So I have lemon juice here that my guys kind of did it for me. We have the Stevia that we haven't quite used yet, and I got my other toy. So my other gizmo. So this one helps me just getting the juice out of the lemon.
2 to 3 tablespoons of lemon juice.
1, 2.
This is the chef way of doing
Tablespoon? Oh,
it. Yes.
a whole lemon. So why lemon juice with avocados and raspberries? So the purpose of the lemon juice is to neutralize, I love that neutralization of word, correct? So it helps the avocado, breaks down the fat of the avocado. This way it doesn't get too pasty. Okay? Stevia.
And then the stevia.
Stevia says 1/8 of a
Of a
teaspoon,
teaspoon.
correct? So it's to taste, folks. So
Right.
your sweetener is up to you. So I'm just going to do maybe a few drops. There we go. You went through the side. You saw that? You saw that?
I know.
It did happen.
You blink and it's
Actually, you blink and it
missed
was
it,
up.
right?
So here we go.
So this is liquid
stevia.
stevia. So stevia
One.
is a sugar
That's about
substitute,
that.
so it tastes sweet, but it doesn't have the carbohydrate or calories that regular sugar does. So it helps to keep the recipe lower in carbohydrates.
So I use, I know that it's always question on the blender. So this slow speed to high speed blender works wonders for me in all the cooking demonstration, whatever I do. I don't like those ultraviolette that use one speed because it just tends to, everything flies away. So this one, as you can see, I can go slow, and I can increase the speed as I. Okay. Yeah. You use smoothie.
Very nice.
Let's see if I have my pulse happening. Pop! There you go. Oh, I did at the end. There we go. Not anymore. And then, who gets to taste it?
Well, you, of course, Chef.
I guess it's all me. Which one? What's it? I like that. I like
surprised you
this
didn't go
one.
through the big one.
I like this one. Actually,
You'll drink them both,
same amount.
won't you? Again, you could always add more stevia because it doesn't add much nutritional value to it. So.
And I don't, I'm used to not having that much sugar anymore.
Right.
So it's just perfect. The raspberry with a creamy avocado. Oh, yeah.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So a nice treat,
Mm-hmm.
but still low carb, heart healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good combination, definitely. Okay. Please continue to send in any questions that you have. We're going to go ahead and, can we do some questions,
Yes.
Chef, or did you want to say anything
No,
else?
let's do
Okay.
some questions.
Okay.
Please.
So the first one will be for you, Chef. Avocado oil, do we store it in the refrigerator, and how long do we keep it?
So the rule of thumb is nothing over 6 months, correct? Spice-wise or oils-wise. So if you haven't used it for 6 months in the refrigerator, then just please throw it away. Or tend to buy a smaller quantity. And would it go bad? Maybe not. But I can't say. So if you want an answer, it's 6 months. If you keep it outside, it still applies to 6 months. But depending on your kitchen, on how hot it gets, the sun hits the part of the kitchen that when you're not home and the oils get hot, then it becomes rancid. And trust me, you will know when it's bad because once you cook the food, it will be so awful that you won't be able to eat it. So then you throw out your food and you throw out your avocado oil. So hopefully that answered that question.
Okay, great. And I will take this next question for omega-3. Is food the best source? Food is the best source, but what about pill form? Yes, that is correct. We always recommend to get it in naturally from the food because our body can absorb it better because it's in a natural state. Before you take any supplement, it's always recommended to check with your physician. Your doctor knows your entire medical history and would be able to recommend or to let you know if that's a good thing for you. But omega-3s are in pill form, but it is, again, a fat. And our bodies cannot excrete excessive amounts of fat, so we wouldn't want to just take a lot. So again, just to talk with your doctor about how much and if it's best for you. Any other questions? Please go ahead and send in any more questions that you have. I will reveal the answer to our question in just a little bit here as well, but would be happy to take any more guesses or answers that you guys might have.
I just want to add, if I may.
Yes, please.
Is about consulting your dietitian. I do the cooking demo, and I want to extract the flavor out of the food. I want to teach you how to combine different items and make a delicious meal. But each body, we require different nutrients to maintain ourselves, correct? So the best person is to have a consultation with a dietitian. Bring a note, a pad, or film them or videotape on your phone to make sure that they are customizing recipes just specifically for you. And then when you attend the cooking classes, then you start molding, okay, this resonates with what the dietitian told me. This resonates with what I used to. And so then you start making your own meal plans for the future that will help your diet, it will help you, your immune system, it will help you, overall. And then as a diabetic, I made little changes over time because you cannot change overnight. That doesn't happen. You change overnight, you go right back.
Right.
So you have to make little changes at a time into your body. It gets used to it. And I joke and I said, every change takes about 6 weeks for you to actually adapt and adhere and move forward as part of your living. So it's very essential that even though at the beginning you don't like the taste of oat milk, correct, or almond milk, but give it 6 weeks and you will see that then you start craving it, because now your body, you gave your body a chance to get adjusted to that new product that you're introducing into your body, which is a healthy product, correct?
Definitely. Thank you, Chef. Yes, we do offer education at the Mary and Dick Allen Diabetes Center. We have 2 locations, one in Newport Beach, one in Irvine. We also do virtual or telehealth video visits as well. So anyone with diabetes, pre-diabetes, sometimes we have other health conditions as well, kidney disease or something else, and so we can incorporate that in, and that's kind of what Chef was saying. These are all very heart healthy recipes and very appropriate for people with diabetes and pre-diabetes, but like Chef was saying, you have to know what's best for you, the right portion sizes. You know, can you have a half an avocado, or maybe you get a sliver, or maybe you need to avoid the avocado because it's high potassium. So again, we have a team with registered dietitians such as myself, registered nurse. So we're here as a team to provide, again, and meet any of your educational needs. So you can see us on our website, hoag.org/diabetes. We do need a doctor's referral for anyone to be seen at our center. Okay, let's go on for a few more questions here. This one's for you, Chef. If we want to cook the salmon in the microwave, is that okay?
It's funny you say that, because we were working on poaching a salmon. We have a patient that requires salmon to be poached. So then that question of microwave came in, but I'm old school, so I put water in a pot and I throw the salmon and just poach them. So you can actually poach the salmon in the microwave, that's fine. Just play with the time. And so I recommend you to season the water. By doing seasoning the water is you don't put any condiments on the salmon, you just season the water. You add salt and pepper to the water. How much salt you need to add to the water? So let's go back to that rule of thumb. How much salt do you add when you're cooking pasta to the water? Correct. So how much salt to the water when you're cooking pasta? What is the flavor of that water when you're cooking pasta should be? So if any of you have been on the beach and get a big gulp of salt water, that's the taste. So you're looking for that taste. That will be enough to cook the salmon and flavor the salmon without salt in it. Okay.
And that's a great thing that you bring up, Chef. Salt, also something to watch as part of a heart-healthy diet, especially, again, living with diabetes, pre-diabetes. We tend to have high blood pressure, and high salt intake contributes to high blood pressure, which, of course, increases your risk for heart disease. So the American Diabetes Association recommends 2,300 milligrams of salt per day, which is about 1 teaspoon. Okay. So again, watching what you're using in your cooking. I feel that a lot of our salt comes from processed foods. It's already in foods that we're eating. If you're not eating fresh, healthy foods like this, you really need to read those food labels and look for the amount of salt or sodium. Again, this is the best route to go. That's why we're doing these cooking demonstrations, to help you, to show you that you can cook these. I mean, it looks like it was hard to cook, but it really wasn't. Very simple. Right? Once you kind of break it down and you give us all your little techniques and tips, Chef, it's great, because we can cook heart healthy. And again, there was very little, salt in both of these recipes for today, because again, we're 160 milligrams for the salmon. I mean, that's nothing compared to 2,300 milligrams. Correct. So again, something else. I know there's a lot of things to kind of balance with, especially with diabetes or pre-diabetes, the heart healthy fats and the salt and the carbs. So again, do contact us if you need any kind of education or services.
Or you can use 17 Lowry seasoning, salt-free.
Okay, and there are a lot of salt-free or herbs, that you can use as well. That's another really, really good.
So it's up to you to how you want to poach it in the microwave. But not cooking it with oil doesn't work that way. You won't get the color, you won't sear it. So it will be poached, so it will be drier. So your salmon, be prepared, will be drier because it's in moisture. That doesn't represent that will be moist, because boiling water will extract all the moisture out of the salmon, and when you take out, it's just really tough. Not tough, but overcooked and dry. It will dry up as you put them on the plate. So that's a concern. That's all.
And then another question for you, Chef.
Okay.
How do you, or can you use a different fish for this recipe?
Yeah, we chose salmon because salmon is I call it forgiving, correct? So when I cook it here, it has more fat to it, and we want to kind of present the omega-3 fatty acids, how healthy it is for especially people with cancer, and just my wife loved that. So
Right. Yeah.
anyway, but yeah, you can use any fish you would like. Trout, you can use red snapper, you can use cod, you can use, but it will sea bass. But all those fishes will give you a different nutritional value, and that's when I say, talk to your dietitian, know what type of fish you should take that will be beneficial for your diet, for that recommended diet that the dietitians are telling you that is best for your overall health. This way, you might like, for example, I might like red snapper, and sway is really healthy for me, correct? But then I don't want to eat sway, I want red snapper. Red snapper does nothing for you, but you know what I mean? But so you have to compromise. You have to say, okay, let me try the sway, let me eat the sway, let me get used to the sway, because that fish is the one who's giving me all the nutritionals that I need. And that's a give and take. That's why I strongly recommend just visit your dietitian, get a consultation, and start planning your overall meal for yourself.
Right.
And they are the drivers. I'm just cooking and making things more delicious.
Great. And again, in general, just to kind of add to what Chef's saying, in general, fish is very heart healthy. Salmon, tuna, mackerel, sardines, they're higher in those omega-3s. Again, they're really encouraging getting those 8 ounces of fish or sources, because we can also get some in the walnuts as well. So getting that on a weekly basis, the 8 ounces, just to, again, to protect us against heart disease. But if you didn't like salmon or you were allergic to salmon, I think that's great. You can always substitute it for a different fish, and that would be a good substitute. So, all right. Any more questions at this time? Okay. Let's see. So again, let's go back to our question that we started with for today. The question again, what do salmon, avocados, and walnuts all have in common? We have a couple answers, so thank you everyone for submitting questions and for getting these answers. So I have healthy fat was one of the guesses, and another guess was the omega-3s. So the omega-3s are found in salmon and walnuts. Avocado actually contains an omega-9 fatty acid, not technically the omega-3. So really the actual answer to the question is they all contain heart-healthy fat. And by eating, foods that contain these heart-healthy fats can help us to reduce our risk for heart disease. So that was the technical correct answer. Although again, I do appreciate you guys listening and participating. I think this was a good February Heart Healthy Month recipes here, and we try to keep it a little simple this time.
Absolutely.
So we could take some time and to go through things. Were there any more questions for today? Chef, did you want to talk more about segmenting the oranges?
Oh,
We forgot. We kind of missed that, I think.
okay. Well, let's do
to.
segmented. Let's play with orange. Well,
Okay.
half an orange. I got 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Let's do that.
5 minutes. Okay.
I was hoping somebody would ask that question, correct? Nobody
Well,
asked that
I
question.
asked the question because
So
I
now,
don't know how
there
to
you go.
segment an orange correctly.
Okay.
So I would assume someone else would have the same question. Because we want everyone to be able to try this recipe.
Absolutely. So you're gonna cut both ends. Let me make sure that you guys. Thank you, Megan.
You're welcome.
This is cool. I got caught up with the types of oranges, but not.
That's okay.
Let me open up some room here.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So you can cut both ends so it sits flat, and this way it doesn't roll over. Now you're gonna, the first cut is like your cut, correct? So I got a little bit of the meat. So from then on, you should be able to have just the skin. And the only way to do it is by following the rind all the way across, correct? So you don't make big cuts, you just make small cuts and just turn it, okay? This is like visualizing when you're cutting. If I go here, I'm not visualizing what I'm cutting. So I might cut too much of the meat, correct? So here are the differences, okay? So I'm cutting slowly.
And of course, we want to get all of the rind off because it's very bitter.
Correct. Now we're going to segment the orange. So now you hold the orange. You see all the little membranes going, sorry. Hey, stay here. Going across. So now you're just going to go straight down. And then one. Oh. Then follow that.
So there's little white guidelines in there, sort of.
So when you order a bucket of segmented orange, there's a person doing this behind it. Just kidding. There's a machine that does it. Okay. If you see here, they still have part of it. So you want to take that out. Okay. So I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to see, it's not coming out, but then you bring your knife. That's it. Now, safety first. I have my safety gloves on. I can do that. If you have your bare hands, you would have tapped your finger, you'd be bleeding right now. Okay, got.
And of course, a fresh orange is going to have more nutrients than those canned orange
Absolutely.
segments because they process them and take out some of the good nutrition, good nutrients.
You have to preserve them too, correct?
Well, correct, yeah. And you're right, they add stuff to them that isn't as good for us.
Correct.
So I would say, prepping ahead of time. Possibly you could prep these up like Chef has done.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Depending on how much time you have to cook your meal. Some prep ahead of time, chopping the nuts and, just to make it work for people that have busy lives and busy schedules. Beautiful.
There we go.
Beautiful.
We just segmented the orange.
All right. So again, if there's any other questions, please go ahead and write them in the chat box as we are wrapping up for today.
No more question, folks? Should we talk more about food?
Yeah, of course.
Let's talk about more about food. Okay. Let's see. Salt. That's the proverbial question. Salt.
Okay.
Sea salt, kosher salt.
Yes.
Definitions. Okay. Table salt. If you have table salt, throw it away. Throw it away. You don't need table salt. Throw that thing away. It's full of calcium, crap in it. I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? Stuff that doesn't belong there. Okay. So no table salt. Use kosher salt or use sea salt. Now the sea salt have to be careful. Sometimes they add iodine to the sea salt from clumping. So it's better to grind it, correct? So buy a pepper mill and just grind pepper, and you can also grind the salt, correct? So that is the purest form. Kosher salt always been the purest form. It doesn't mean that it's because you were Jewish descent, you use kosher salt. No, you got that name because that salt used to be used to preserve all the meat back when there were no refrigerators. So most of the Jewish population used it, and they call it kosher, and then the name stick to the salt, but that doesn't mean that they the ones who developed that. No, that's the name of the salt. And that salt is pure form, and they can only sell it as a pure form. And they sell as chunks or break it down, correct? Like I have here. This is actually kosher salt. So if you see, it has the grains, and it doesn't have any additives to it.
But from a nutritional standpoint, if I could add to this, Chef, salt is salt. It all is processed as salt in your body, whether it is kosher salt or sea salt or garlic salt.
Correct.
So you just have to still overall watch your intake. There's really not one that's better than the other. I mean, again, for nutritional or cooking properties maybe, but again, it's still salt. Salt is salt.
You're right, and it's like stevia and different sweeteners,
Right.
correct? It's all preference, and it's all based on what is the recommended nutritionist suggestions for your overall health, your personal overall health. They say no salt. Well, buy all salt-free seasonings. Mrs. Dash, the 17 seasonings is called Larry's 17 seasonings, salt-free, delicious. So all those there is the market today for sugar-free and salt-free seasonings is huge, and they bring a lot of flavors to your meals. So having no salt should not be part of most recipes, but we still have it.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. We appreciate your comments and your questions and for joining us today. We hope that you will join us again. Our next cooking demonstration will be Tuesday, April 20th at 5:30 p.m. Our theme is Healthy Asian Dishes. We do ask that you go online to register. There's an 800 number. Again, you can visit our website for more details. And registration is currently open. And the registration closes 2 days before the event. Oh, I'm sorry, we have one more question.
How much salt a heart patient can have?
Okay, so question is, how much salt can a heart patient have? Again, I would definitely want you to go back and talk to your doctor about it. Typically, just in general though, for heart patients, it's usually 2,000 milligrams per day. But some doctors, if they want you to go on a real low salt diet, would be 1,500 milligrams per day. So again, just check with your heart doctor, your cardiologist, just to clarify. But somewhere around 1,500 to 2,000 is usually recommended. Good, thank you. Are there any other last minute questions? Okay. Well, again, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Again, we hope you will join us again for another one of our Sweet Life cooking demonstrations.
Thank you.
Thank you.